hello again, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. We are back from our FPL vacation, basically. So, and the game is live. I think it was live. I found out when was it about? Was it Monday? I think Monday morning when I woke up, I found out it was live. Anyways, obviously the UK is a few hours ahead. But anyways,
Yeah,
before we even start officially, Chama, how's it going? Welcome back.
boy. Yeah. We are back. We are back from the break. Yeah, I've been doing well. I've been doing well. It's been a very hot summer again in
Mm-hmm.
Japan. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of things happen over the course of the summer. In terms of football and all that. And yeah, I'm happy to be back with the new FPL. I would say because
Mm-hmm.
there's a
The
lot of new
FPL,
things,
a lot of changes.
a
Yeah,
lot of
which
new things in the game,
yeah
which we have played the
we'll
game for
discuss. Yeah,
over 10 years now, and this season seems to be the most different one I feel in terms of
yeah,
what we expect to see.
I think so
For the
too.
longest time I've played, to be honest, this season seems to be the most different one, and you have to come up with ways to navigate the new season. Maybe easier, maybe more interesting, maybe more engaging,
More
like they want
challenging
it
is
to be.
possible. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
yeah,
more
I feel
challenging.
like yeah, but
So
we'll delve into that. But this is the first preseason episode. So we'll have like either one or two before the game starts, depending on how our schedule is. It's a bit difficult for us to schedule, obviously. But then we wanted a lot to actually happen before we can jump on a pod and record. So
yeah.
yeah, it's fun to be back. So we're gonna talk about a few things like the game launch and team ID and whether we're lucky enough, the new interface. Talk about the changes to the game, the more points, the chips, and then the fan con, obviously, to talk about our clubs and what's going on there. Liverpool, you guys are dominating, so I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. And then finally, we'll talk about the drafts and like the initial drafts. Basically, there's a long way to go before the season starts, and there's a lot of changes. Obviously, a lot of players. We won't delve into the players because there's too many. Maybe you can check
And
other
it's too
pods
early.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all the details. But yeah, we'll just have like a quick draft to see. That's what we'll end on the last segment. But yeah, first things first. The new FPL, the format, the user interface. So how do you think it looks based on
Uh,
last season and the previous seasons, basically?
yeah, I think anytime something new comes, it takes time to adapt to it. And
Yeah.
the initial reaction is never like you know, you never get the grip of things. Hopefully, sometime along the way, we get back to understanding the app and the website. It looks changed, like you say. It looks changed. There's a lot of changes, but I think the basic things are still there. Sometimes when you're navigating through trying to find players, like the two sort players out, trying to
Mhm.
see like kind of getting lost in those moments. To be honest,
Yeah.
especially the app, and it feels strange to me, as somebody
Uh-huh.
who has played the game for
Uh,
maybe 10 years and have
it
been,
seems like you're playing. Yeah, you're
I'm
starting
playing something new.
fresh.
Yeah, that is something new. That is how I feel about it
uh,
at the initial stage. Even picking
mhm.
a team, transferring, how everything is coming about in the app. It seems there's a lot going on there, but hopefully, we will adapt like we always do, going forward. But it's been nice. It's been nice. And did you say about the team ID and stuff, or just the interface? How do you feel
I
about it?
mean, the interface is fine. Funnily enough, like the past few seasons, I can say that the website was a bit easy to use. It was very
Mm.
simple, website. But now, and then the app was a bit like clunky. There were a few glitches and errors in the app. But
Mhm.
funnily enough, for me, in my experience, anyways, this new app is a bit different. Like I like the graphics; it's nice, and I find it a bit easier to use at least now. Maybe later
Mm.
on might change, but that so it seems like the app has kind of like upgraded a bit, much easier
Yeah,
to use and
yeah.
looks nicer, to the eye.
Getting
Now it's
used.
kind of surpassed the website, at
Mm.
least for now. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure
And,
in the
and
next.
one thing,
Mhm.
and one thing I will just add there before you go is like in the past, if you like every new season is kind of a transition. You have to start from scratch, build up everything, register.
Yeah.
This time that was not there, so which I kind of appreciate because I just
good,
one click and then I'm already in the.
You just need to select your team name and then
I don't need to. I don't need to remember my part. Those kind of things, that used to happen. That transition,
the same thing. But I think you have to. I had to like log in again, and then So the thing is the password, man. That's an issue because I think I've lost one or two of my accounts before, and I had to. It's not fun because you play and then you forget. You don't save these things. But it was much easier than other years, to be honest. What about the team ID? Were you lucky enough to be one of the early ones?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that very early. It's not, but I got I got an ID that I'm very happy with because I can just say it without even looking at it. I memorized it immediately. I got the ID when I saw my ID. Like it's not gonna escape my mind, never, which is good, right?
It's
that. I cannot even remember my telephone number sometimes or telephone number of somebody close to me nowadays. I cannot remember that. But this team ID was so good that I can remember.
It's easy to remember. That's good.
So when I want to check something on my phone or something, it will come up straight up. Yeah.
For me, I think is it in the like the 500s within the 500?
No, I'm within the 100,000. Yeah, I'm within the 100,000.
Oh wow, that was okay. Then you're lucky.
Because I was watching YouTube and then I saw Andy say live, FPL is live. Then I click my phone, auto pick. Just like I say, just click everything and then everything went straight up. Going through all those processes, and then I just click and then look at my team, and then look. That's where my team stayed until this morning when I did my draft. That's the draft I'm gonna be sharing today.
Okay, that's the thing though. You guys are lucky. The ones you guys that are like in a different time zone that's ahead. That's the advantage you have because it's not like they say that the game is gonna be live. For example, it's not like the game is gonna be live today or tomorrow, or they give you a date. They won't give you a date, basically. So that's the thing. But it's not too bad. I was in the less than the 500,000, like four.
It's there. That's not bad. I think almost.
I mean, last year I was 250 something. I was less than 300,000. So it was like
last year I was a little bit lower. My ID is 66990. So that's easy. 66990.
Yeah, that's easy. That's very easy to remember. That's easy to remember. Okay, so let's go into the changes basically. There's a lot of changes. I think I'll just probably just share and we can go through them. There's no particular order that we'll go through this, but let me start with these changes, Chama, so you can see that's a lot. There's a lot of changes, but I mean, it's good for the people that they're trying to reach out to like a larger audience because each and every year we see that the number of managers go up, and at some point the active managers kind of falls off. It's funny. It's the fall off has been more in the previous years, but I think with each year you have more and more managers being more engaged until the end. I think last year was I'm not sure what the numbers are for the most engaged managers for Game Week 38, but I think it was better than most the previous years, basically. So the main changes is we're gonna have a set of 4 chips between Game Week 1 to 19. It's the same amount of chips you have from Game Week 20 to 38. Before we used to have 2 wild cards for the first half of the season and then the second half of the season, right?
Yeah.
And then you have 1 bench boost, 1 free hit, 1 triple captain. Last year we had what was it called?
Assistant manager. I'm happy I'm not seeing that again.
Man, that's one of my best chips last year. I keep saying the same thing, but it is one of my best chips. This year is like double the chips. Basically, you had 4 chips total. Last year was 5. And this time around, we have 8. But first half of the season, you have 4. Second half, you have 4. I don't think you can save all of them. you have to use them between game week 1 and 19. If you don't, you lose it, right?
It's right there. It's up there. 1 to 19, you can use one, and then 20 to
20. Okay, so it's the same as like the regular wild card like we have before. 2 wild cards. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this? It's pretty straightforward, right? So this one is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's straightforward. I think some people have been asking for something like this in the past, to want to have the the chips, like, but I think they have come with excitement, but they have come with more problems as well. Because that bench boost there, like that one bench boost, people were having problem with it. Now you have to deal with. So because when you do the bench boost, like we always know, bench boost is something that you will wanna use after a wild card, where you kind of structure maximize your bench and all that, and then immediately you play the bench boost. You don't need your bench again that much. So like that was a problem for FPL managers. Sometimes you prepare for the bench boost for the longest time, and then you come and then your bench is not giving you like what you expect from it.
The risk reward is not, for me, in my opinion, it's not worth it. It's just a gamble. It's a big gamble. It's something you can plan for.
Exactly. And after all, in the game, just a handful of players keep that consistency going. So if you are trying to get 15 players and expect them for a particular week to give you a good consistency, like you say, the risk and the reward is not there. So in that case, in the case of the bench boost, it adds a problem for me. One was enough. It's not exciting.
One is enough. Exactly.
It is exciting to build it. It is exciting to build for a bench boost team, right? Like you are making the transfer.
To have 15 players, to see, to make sure that all the players actually play, or
The build up to it is exciting, but the actual, like you say, output and the actual results that you get from it, more often than not, it's not that it's not all that. So in that case, that is it. But the free hit, I would say, makes life easier.
2 free hits,
free hits makes life easier. Triple captain, 2 triple captains, like you're gonna be forced to play your triple.
Usually people play triple captains at the end, the second half of the season, where you have more like a cluster of games, right? When you have like double game weeks and triple game weeks, but now you're gonna be forced to use it. Because we all know, most likely, you're not going to have a double game between game week 1 and 19, especially when the schedule is okay for now.
So for me, in my opinion, the only chip that is added that brings excitement is the free hit. The triple captain does not. To be honest, because one thing about the triple captain, like maybe there are some people who want to play it in the first week, but others will just be waiting. Like, what is the best opportunity to play this triple captain in this first 19 game week? Like, you don't have that excitement of the double or something. So people might end up going up to game week 19 and they realize, I really need to play my triple captain. Just play it on anybody because of maybe you don't have the opportunity to play it. But you never know. Maybe when the Haalands or the Salahs or the Palmers playing against
the premiums, like have a good fixture, good fixture. You have to, right? So if you don't play it, you lose it, and you don't want to play it because you don't have a choice. You have to play it in game week 19, and maybe it's not the best fixture to play. So it's something to actually put in your planning. You have to actually put it at the back of your mind. Okay, what's the best time to play these chips? In this first half.
Which will change the planning dynamics. This season, obviously.
So it seems like you're going to be planning separately. You have the first half. You plan for this first half. See how things are going to go, and then the second half of the season.
For the second half, and it kind of even affected the planning for the second half, because usually, like you say, there was this. Of course, we will get there where we talk about what strategy we will go. Like when people used to have the one bench boost, like you are one of them. You wanted to play it in the first game week and then just get rid of it and then forget about it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do this time around.
So now, even if you do that now,
there's no point.
You still have the problem up there. That problem that we were trying to avoid is still up there. Yeah.
I'm not a fan, man. To be honest, I think the best way, my opinion, the way I'm going to play this game, I'm just going to disregard the bench boost. I'm not going to plan for it. It's just a waste of my time. What I'm going to do is, anytime I feel like, okay, this is a good week to, I just play it and get rid of it as soon as I can. That's what I'm going to do. Because what it does is it gives you unnecessary stress. And then sometimes it takes takes your concentration from what you're supposed to be concentrating, maybe which is the other
That's
tips
the
and
biggest
all the
problem.
planning you're supposed to be doing. That's the problem I have with
You
it.
highlighted very well. That
You know,
is the biggest problem.
it's a distraction, man. Yeah, but it's part of the game, so I guess it's there. So that's the first change that we have, which is, I think, is a good one overall. The second one is AFCON transfers. This one, I don't know whether it's complaints. That's why that's why they brought this in, or because usually we all know that we have a lot of African representation in the Premier League. Most notably, the main one is Salah, who is the most expensive player in FPL this season.
Salah is the reason.
It's possible. Yeah, because when Salah goes, like, it's like almost everything changes, and almost everybody. That's when people start playing the game, because you have to get different players now to fill your team. Some people are really smart that they still have Salah in their team. Like you, I think at one point you had Salah in your team for the whole AFCON, right? And then you never took him out of your team. But this time around, you don't have to go through that headache. In game week 16, which is, I think, around the time that AFCON starts in January. So you'll be given 5 free transfers to make. I think it's only for AFCON players, right? Or just general free transfers?
No, you have free transfers. You have free. All managers will top up with maximum possible number of 5 free transfers in game week 16 ahead of the AFCON, regardless of how many they had before. Yeah, regardless. So I think you can make any transfer. You just have 5 extra transfers that you can use at that particular period.
I never even looked at the grammar. What are they saying that if you had 3, they will give you 2 extra to get to 5 maximum? Because top up meaning that they're going to, if you, for example, let's say in game week 16, right, you already had 3 transfers. You can only have 2 extra, right? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
If you had like, for example, you
are making absolute sense. I can see.
Give you 4,
I did not think about it like that. Yeah.
Because they say top to maximum of 5.
Yeah.
So they make sure that everybody in game week 16 has 5 transfers, regardless of how much you had before.
So it means you have to use your transfer. You don't have to save
in game week 15. You don't have to save
ahead of it. It makes absolute sense. I think that is it. If you say top, it means they will add on top of what you have, and then go up to
maximum of 5. Yeah. So that means game week 15. There's no point in saving your transfer up to game week 15.
Yeah.
Just make sure you use it by 15, because 16 you're gonna have 5 transfers regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this one is fine. I think this is fine.
It's fine. Well, the only thing is, like, I think that again, there are two sets of FPL players, right? There are 2 sets of managers.
The ones that
the one that are engaged, and then there is the one that are they just want to enjoy the game, flow with the game, make easy changes. So for this side, the engaged ones, this will not be fun for them, because they want to navigate their way through.
This is their advantage, basically. This is the planning is part of the advantage.
This is part of the planning, exactly. But for those that like, which is, to be honest, this side is much more. Like, the less engaged ones is much more than the engaged ones. I don't know the statistics, but that is my thought. There is this FPL community is growing and growing every time.
But it's still niche, it's still a small part of
it's still a small part of the game. So
that's true,
that might be the reason. Let's see how it goes. It will require a little bit of planning, like you say. Like, make sure you use your transfers.
Yeah, because the transfers are there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They will give you the transfers, but it's still up to you to find out which transfers to bring into your team, right? So you still have to do some bit of planning. You just know, okay, I have 5. Let me see which 5 I'm going to bring. You have to plan, because it's still like giving you the opportunity to still look at the fixtures for, from 16 to whatever, and see like which players are the best, and also anticipate that when these players get back, how are you going to get them back into the team? So it's still a lot of planning involved, anyways.
A lot of planning, yeah.
So moving on.
These were the key These were the 2 key changes, right?
Those were the two key changes.
Because there are some other changes when it comes to bonus points.
Yeah, I think.
And
there's some more. There's some more.
Yeah, defensive contribution. Yeah,
I didn't read up on that, but yeah, I think we'll go through this and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, let's go through the defensive contributions.
Yeah, this one, I think this one, people have been complaining to. Even me myself, I was like, this is the way to make the game more exciting. is because you have midfielders, but nobody goes for all these defensive midfield players, either in the defense or for defenders. It's okay because you have the clean sheet points, right? But then when it comes to especially midfielders, defensive midfielders, there's nothing. You only have to be a scorer or an assister, and then that's when you actually more recognized as one of the best, one of like a good FPL pick. So now this is something new that you have to keep an eye on. Can you explain? Yeah,
it's quite interesting. When it comes to defenders, the category got CBI, CBIT, something like that. Clearance, blocks, interceptions, and tackles. If a defender, these are defensive actions like in the game. So if a defender accumulates 10 of these kind of actions in the game, they get an extra maximum of 2 points. Two points they get on top of that. That is the cap. They say 2 points. Once you get to that, you get that cap. Of course, midfielders and attacking players, they go up to 12. CBIT plus, there's another thing. There's another one. So they got up to 12 of those actions. They also get an extra 2 points on top of their. I think it makes it more complicated for the organizers, but for the player, it does not. For the player, like it does not. It's just another avenue for point. But of course, you now have to think about, well, who's getting these defensive actions, and how are they getting them? Because if you see Tarkowski, for example, they use in that one, they use Tarkowski to show him how many defensive actions he got in the game. It was against Manchester City. Why is he getting a lot of blocks? Why is he getting a lot of headers, clearances, and all that? Because his team was under too much pressure. Because Manchester City is attacking. So eventually, it's a team that is likely to concede a goal. Who is going to get these defensive action points? But it's another avenue for points for defenders. Makes defenders more attractive and defensive midfielders like Caicedo more attractive. Those players that can
at least you'll consider them to have them in your team.
Yeah, you can consider them even more. And exactly, like for example, Tarkowski, he get extra how many points on top of that 44? If you add that to what he got, that could have been competing against some defenders over the last season, or competing against other midfielders. So it's an exciting layer to the game. I think those playing Sky Fantasy will be easier to adopt because they are used to that when they play Sky Fantasy.
Oh, they already have those. They already have this.
They have that in Sky Fantasy football.
Interesting.
So it will be easier for those people to understand and then value these players more, like the Rodleys, like the Caicedos. Like
that means they're ahead of the game, huh?
There are some people ahead of the game. But for us, the novice on this one, it will take time to adapt to know what is the premium way to pick defenders in the game. But it's
because you have to also consider, like in this case for defenders, it's teams that actually concede shots. You have like, because Everton obviously the defense is not the best, and the team, so basically you have to consider these teams is going to face a lot of shots, so maybe they will they're going to have a lot of defensive contribution points. So but okay. Oh, you see this one, like Milinkovic is also a balance because he is one of the top defenders. It's not really like the team is facing a lot of shots, right? Or is it because they play in a low block and they're always doing a counter attack? He's one of the good defenders. So clean sheets plus the points. What do you call it? BIT? What's that?
CBIT. Clearance.
CBIT. Yeah.
Interception.
It's going to be interesting, though. I think a lot of other channels might cover this in depth, but I think we need to do more research on it. But
Milinkovic will have been the highest scoring defender if this was
if this thing was
if it was in last season.
Interesting.
Of course, not now Forest. Last season they had a decent defense, right? They were a very counter-attacking team. Back and then wait and then try to attack you on the counter, then score. But they were very good in terms of defending low block and that. That's why they conceded a lot of chances. They kept a quite number of clean sheets last season as well. That's why they were up there. Their players were kind of interest to FPL managers last season. Milinkovic, Ula Aina, those players, they were all in a lot of FPL. Even their goalkeeper cells, they were keeping clean sheets. But if you add to those defensive actions that these defenders were engaged in, then you can see.
Then they actually get more points than even the top defenders like Vardiol and the Van Dijks.
Exactly.
It's interesting though. It's
Actually, Murielo is the other centre back defender.
also
you have Hugo's
Nottingham
gonna be
Forest
second.
too.
So both of them at Nottingham Forest. But are they gonna? How are they gonna react with going to Europe this season? They will be playing in the European
It's going to be
competition.
stretched. Yeah, the team is going to be
They're gonna be
stretched.
stretched.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have the same impact they had last season in terms of defensive actions? So it's gonna be interesting, but it makes central defenders more attractive as well.
Yeah,
Players like
especially for smaller teams, like
yeah.
for example, smaller teams, because Van Dijk's and them they're expensive. So you don't have, before you can actually take like premium defenders and think that okay, obviously they play for the better team, they're going to keep more clean sheets. But now there's something else that's going to add to that number, which is the defensive contributions as well. So it's interesting, man. You have to probably pick your defenders.
Yes.
With a lot of planning now. It's just not, this guy is expensive, so he keeps clean sheets. Let me get him.
Yes.
Midfield. This is the one for the midfield as well. So the same thing applies for let's say CMs and defensive midfielders, not just the wingers and the attackers, basically.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, so
you see, Caicedo and Elliot Anderson, they are up there.
Baleba also Elliot Anderson, Joao Gomez. You see, these names will never pop up in FPL.
Exactly. Now they are relevant. Now they are relevant.
now they're relevant. Look at Gravenberch. Can you imagine? So.
But that also, FPL are already playing the game ahead of the game. I would say, in a way, because these players have come with price a little bit more expensive than they should.
Than usual. So they're not like the 4 millions.
Exactly. Even
like
the defenders.
5.
Exactly.
There's a lot of 5 million midfielders that I saw when I was trying to. So many 5 million. Almost everybody is 5 million now.
Exactly. So what do you think about
it's not cheap,
Pricing. The pricing of the player.
I haven't really looked at it yet, but the pricing. Let's go to the pricing. These are the most expensive players. Anyways, I think we skipped it. So yeah, the most expensive player this season is Salah. 14.5. I was expecting him to be 15, but 14.5 is not bad because Haaland was 15 last season. So the pricing, to be honest, it's not bad. I think it makes it interesting because you have the two most expensive players. Last year it was Haaland, which was justified. He was 15 because of the previous season that he had. Last season he didn't do much, so his price kind of went down. I would have wanted it to go down a bit more, but I guess it's fine. I would have had him at 12.5. Would have made it interesting. You know what I mean? Yeah, because last season was really for Haaland's own level he had a very bad season too, in my opinion, basically. So yeah, Salah pretty much justified, but you're gonna expect that he's getting older. I don't think he's gonna get the same numbers as last year, but we said that the year before. So he outdid himself. So you never know. I think the pricing overall is pretty decent. I'm surprised that somebody's pricing like for the Verts 8.5 million. I was like, oh, come on, get into my team, please. Thank you. The rest is pretty reasonable. Son, I think should have been lower because he had a really poor season.
I don't even think he will be there by the time the season starts.
Yeah, I don't think he's even starting in the team right now. But yeah, my overall opinion of the pricing is that it's fair. Honestly, it's very fair. I think for the first time in a long time, I agreed with all the pricing. Honestly.
Yeah.
What about you?
Definitely. I think the good thing for me is it's very rare to see a bargain or something like, oh, this player is so cheap. Like, this player is too expensive. We're not gonna buy him or something like that. Like it's that they get the prices almost spot on.
Spot on,
almost spot on.
I think credit to Mark. Mark is working for them, right? He now left his Mark. So is this what it is?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is working for them now.
Full time. I don't know. You
can check. I know I saw it on Twitter, but I'm not really. I just glance but I had a day.
He's a good content
creators. Yeah.
He's a good.
Remember last year he announced that he was going to be working with them, so he's going to be because I think he's going to stop. The black box pod
with us. Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, he announced it. So I think he was saying that he's working on really exciting things. So I think he came out and said that he's working with them. So that's why when I saw these prices come out, people were saying, yeah, he did a good job because I'm sure he's the one that mainly. I don't know I haven't.
Okay, I'll check. That's interesting.
Check and see and confirm that. Yeah, he's the one that Because I was like, wow, for the first time, the pricing is very
because
good.
he know very well, right? He know how people are thinking. He know, he's very much engaged in it. Before maybe just somebody who is working for the Premier League decide
come
the prices.
let's put a price,
But it's different when the actual FPL people, get on it. It will be different. I think that's why because he will think about a lot of factors before he make those decisions.
The price adjustments.
But the other thing is, you said Watkins. I had it from the Planet FPL pod, but James was not confident about that, saying it. It was Watkins. Watkins scoring more points than Haaland for the last 2 seasons.
And then he's still at 9 million.
Which is insane, right? 2 seasons.
So he's had.
Yeah, he scored more points than Haaland for the last 2 seasons. Haaland,
even last season, even the season before when Haaland had that.
No,
all the goals.
No, Haaland had the 4th season where he scored all the crazy goals, right?
Yeah.
Where he scored 36 goals, and then scored around 272 FPL points. That season, Haaland had more points, but last season, season before last, of course.
Season before last.
Second season, he won the Golden Boot. Haaland won the Golden Boot. But Watkins has an insane season that year. He scored a lot of goals, made a lot of assists. He had more points than Haaland that season. When Palmer was the highest scoring player in FPL, it was not Haaland. The second season, and then they hiked Haaland's price to 15. After that, that's why when I already learned how to deal without Haaland, and then this last season, Haaland did not have a great season
at all.
Watkins had a decent-ish season. And then he has more points than for Haaland. Yes, for the last 2 seasons.
By his standards, by Haaland's standards, his price shouldn't be. I think it's the only complaint I will have about pricing this time around.
Yes,
he shouldn't be 14 million. But I get it because the team that he's in, he's capable of replicating that same goal scoring form, basically. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. We'll see. So we've talked about
before we move forward, I think the defensive. There's another thing we did not talk about: the assist, the new changes in the assist. Do you know that one?
The thing is, I didn't even know that the thing is in the assist. There's a lot of things that I'm not filled up.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. That's why I'm telling you, the game is quite new.
There's so many things.
The assist changes. Yeah, it was more about how to give assists because last season there was this. You remember who got the assist? This is how their podcast came about. You remember that podcast?
Yeah.
Who got the assist? Because it used to be a question that we asked: who got the assist? Or like sometimes, but they have made some changes. For example, sometimes if how can I say it? Sometimes if a deflection happened in a pass, it becomes like is it him or is it not him? Then you take away the assist. Then there's the FPL community complaining and all that. But now they change it, make it very simplified, make it more straightforward. It does not matter if your pass is intended for somebody or not, as long as you make the final pass, it is deflected and then one deflection at least. If you take 2 deflections, you lose it. But at least one deflection and then somebody score it, you get the assist. And if you if a penalty happen and then you are the direct reason your pass, you cause the penalty. They give you the assist. So it's not going to be very confusing nowadays, which is good for the game.
That's good. That's
good for the
it clears it up. So you already know. There's no waiting for.
Exactly. There's no grip.
Yeah. There's no waiting.
It's like before there was that.
That's good. That I like. I like that. That because I remember last season he was complaining online.
Yeah.
There was so many complaints. So many complaints, man. But yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Those are the changes.
So
right?
I think those are the changes, right? I think we already.
The bonus points and all.
The last one is the positional changes. Let me. Yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah,
this is for the players basically where we should Yeah. So the main ones are Myers Lewis Kelly from a midfield to a defender. I think he's going to be playing left back.
Yeah.
King Louis Potter. I don't even know who this guy is, to be honest.
Yeah, it's Brentford. He was playing wing back for them last season, but he was a midfielder in the game. Yeah.
Ilimanjai Everton from forward to a midfield. This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting
because he's the main guy now. He's going to be taking on. I think he's going to be on pens, I guess. So he is, and he was really really good last season.
Yeah.
Sessegnon also, if you remember, last season, I think he was listed as a defender, right? And he was getting all those assists at the end of the season.
Yeah.
He was pulling all those numbers, man. It's like, wow. So, yeah. Cody Gakpo from a forward to a midfield. I think this was foreseen from last season. Mamouche. This is interesting. From a forward to a midfielder. He's still kind of like a supporting striker, basically. So I don't know why.
Yeah. So this striker should be a midfielder in the game, I feel.
You think so?
Yeah, like Cunha or somebody. They are also supporting strikers. Number 10 or something.
Yeah, but the way Man City played, it's not like maybe I don't know. I kind of feel like they
sometimes he play on the left. Sometimes he play on the left too.
Maybe like, that's possible.
Maybe
he come back. I haven't watched him or not. But yeah, I guess. I guess. Cunha, from a midfielder to a Nunes. So I was like, what? Mateus Nunes to a midfielder.
Yeah, that was strange.
He's now a fullback now. No, he's not strange. He's a fullback now. He's been playing that from last season.
Full-time fullback.
Yeah. Left fullback. But he's not going to be playing because they already have Ait Nouri now. So they have Ait Nouri.
How about the right?
On the right? I don't know who's on the right though. Who's there?
They don't have a lot of right fullbacks, right? Because Skywalker is not there. Just said the kid, what's his name? Rico Lewis.
He was left. Rico Lewis. Yeah, I think he's back. Oh, there's no positional change for him, but he was a defender, right? So I think he's going to still be.
He's a defender, yeah.
Because they bought some midfielders now. So
and that kid too, Nico O'Reilly. He's also a Man City left back.
He's a left fullback, but he's naturally a midfielder.
Yeah, originally.
So I think Nico O'Reilly is there from midfielder.
Bowen midfield to forward though.
Bowen, he's gonna lose his advantage, right? Because that was the whole point. He was scoring all those points because he was a midfielder.
But what I can say there though, sometimes the midfielders, we have too many midfielders in the game that you might want to have six midfielders, but you cannot have it because you can only have 5. And then if one of those midfielders become a striker, I know the points are going to be less because of the less point for a striker and all that. But I feel it makes them, because I didn't have Bowen throughout last season and he had a very good season.
Yeah, that was because
the midfielders were too many. So if he is a striker, it's easier to pick a striker than a midfielder in the game.
Because we don't have as many strikers in the game.
Yes, we don't usually have a lot of options in strike. So if he's doing well, scoring goals, like at a rate of 1 goal or 2 goals, something like that, then definitely he will become an option. Yeah. I think despite his points going to go down, I think he can still be an option. I'm not going to rule him out, personally.
I agree. If he repeats the form that he showed last season, I think, I don't know why I also didn't have him in my team for some reason, because the team, his team overall,
we have a lot of midfielders.
Didn't do well, his team didn't do well, but
he did well.
He himself, personally, individually, he was.
We overlook him. That is the thing, because we have options like you have Salah, you have Palmer thinking about Foden, you have thinking about those kind of players. And then the mid-range midfielders last season, Mbuemo, once you have him, you don't want to sell him from your team. So then it become a difficult part to have another, Bowen at 7 million. That was the thing.
Too many midfield, and the midfielders last season were very consistent. The ones you have, they're like always, coming up with the points, like the what's his name again, the Aston Villa guy.
Morgan Rogers.
Rogers, they were doing the business. So there was no point for you to go and look for something else. In my case,
absolutely.
So, what's your strategy with all these new changes? At least for now, have you thought about it? Like any?
I think that's where my thoughts are right now. My thoughts are like trying to gather information about players, trying to gather information about if there's any bargains here and there, but as well like how can I approach this season because it's different. I don't just like approach it like business as usual. Start the season like this and then go, but because you have those chips to use in the first 19 game weeks. So what is the best time to use the chips? It's nothing is like you are thinking about, okay, can I wait? Should I use it early? And I'm somebody who likes to start fast, even though I have not done that in the past few seasons, or maybe did I? So that is where my thought is. How can I have a very strong start? And I'm very flexible when it comes to my wild cards. I'm very flexible, especially when it comes to that force wildcard. I'm very flexible to using it like immediately I need it, or keeping it as far as I need it. So I don't come in the season and saying I want to use my wildcard in the first 5 game weeks, or I want to use my wildcard in the final 5 game weeks, or final 5 game weeks before game week 19. I come in thinking like whenever it is necessary for me to use it, I use it. But I want to have a very strong start this season. So looking at these chips, that chip that is gonna cause me problem is something that I want to get rid of, and even more vindicated now because of it that we have 2. If we had 1, I would have been thinking about it probably at the start of the season, like you said, last season, end of last season. But now that we have 2 of them, this is the bench boost. Like the chances of me using it in the first game week is very high. Of course, I know there are some good things for using it early, and there are some, some negatives for using it early. If you use it early, you don't know. Like every season we have this problem where you pick a player, expect him to start the season, and then come game week 1, he's not playing. So there is that risk of players not being like the preseason not giving you the information that you require to have at least numbers from players. It's not just about getting points from them, but to know that my 15 players that I pick are gonna start game week 1 because it's the bench boost. That is enough for me. Are they gonna give me the points or not? That is another thing. But at least I want to have that conviction, that confidence that the 15 players that I pick, they're gonna start the game. So, give me 60 minutes at least. Then I will bank on what they will give me in terms of points. But that, like, you cannot confidently say it going into game week 1. You cannot. No. You cannot confidently say it. So that is a big con for using the bench boost early. But another good positive is everybody want to use the bench boost after a wild card. After a wild card, you want to use the bench boost, and game week 1 serves as a wild card in a way.
It's kind of like a wild card, yeah.
Because you can change your team up to the final minute before game week starts.
Yeah.
So for that reason, yes, there's that positive for it. And also, don't forget that point you mentioned earlier about bench boost. When you use it, it becomes a burden. Ahead of using it, it becomes a burden to pick the team.
Because that's the thing, you're wasting resources on players that you wouldn't even like be wasting your time, and that's the issue I have, because you waste time and resources, like the funds, on trying to get a balanced team. You know what I mean? And even if you don't get that balanced team, it still takes you a while to recoup the money from the bench boost and then put it back into your 11. So all of that is like so you can't just do it within 1 or 2 game weeks. It takes a while, right? To actually get back, when let's say you do a wild card, and then you distribute the funds, and then you play a bench boost. Then you have to take the funds from the bench boost again, and
exactly. So the thing is, if you use it in game week 1, that first problem is eradicated, right? You don't have that first problem, and then immediately you use it. Like I say, I'm very flexible when it comes to the wild card. If it needs that my wild card, I need to get a better team to go forward, I can wildcard and then get rid of that. I can, even if it needs a delay, I can even free hit early, and then see if
you have to. Yeah,
you have many options to do.
Exactly.
So
sets of chips, man. Yeah.
So for me, I'm very much in the camp of bench boosting early in this season. And then don't have to deal with that burden of trying to build your team and then try to dismantle the team again. But again, we mentioned about the African Cup of Nations. So if you wildcard around that area, if you wildcard around the African Cup of Nations just weeks before that, but again, it's a long time ago. You don't know how the fixtures are gonna fall, and even game week 1, the fixtures are not great for bench boosting, and then players and all that is another player. But if you do it like ahead of the African Cup of Nations, remember you're gonna get 5 free transfers just before the African Cup of Nations, so you can kind of manage to get rid of the players you don't need and then try to strengthen your team with 5 transfers. It is difficult. It's more easier to do it with a wild card, of course. But imagine you wildcard.
It's like a mini wild card, basically.
Exactly. Imagine you wildcard in game week 14, you bench boost in game week 15. No, let's say game week 13, you wildcard. You wildcard to a team for bench boost in game week 14. Then you bench boost game week 14. Then game week 15, or game week 16 you get the 15, you get the
16,
you
yeah,
get,
16.
yeah, game week 16. Then let's say 14, 15, and then 16 you get those 5 extra transfers.
You
and then
remove
can,
all those, yeah, you change
remove.
all those bench
So
boosts, get the
there
money
is that,
back into the 11.
there is that window
That's a
also to
possibility.
go
That's a
with that
possibility
strategy.
too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
think
mean, yeah.
how
That's
about
a
you?
good.
What
That's good. That's a good thing. Actually, the first point that you mentioned is my strategy going into to get rid of the bench boost. But another thing I was thinking is like the difficulty is going to be how do we put in these defensive midfielders now, because obviously, and whether it's going to be worth it to select like a Caicedo over like a Morgan Rogers. You know what I mean? Somebody who ticks the boxes
Morgan Rogers
every week.
Morgan Rogers is now 7 point something. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
a kind of
Somebody like a
5.5
Morgan
million
Rogers of last season, like who's like 5 million, and then Caicedo who's also 5 million. So how do you pick? Are we going to take a while for us to actually start seeing that this defensive contribution points are actually legit? You know what I mean? Because there's always one spot in our midfield, because last season we were pretty much spoiled that we had most of these mid-range midfielders. They were doing well, so there was no need. But now that this season we have so many midfielders around the same price point, and now you have these defensive players, so basically you're supposed to be considering almost a majority of the midfielders in this game now. That's where the points are going to come from.
Which is a problem too, right?
It's going to be a problem now. So how do we go about selecting like a good balance of the attacking midfielders and the defensive midfielders? So that's going to be the problem now. That's going to be a challenge in my opinion.
And this is what I said earlier. The Sky people, those who play Sky, they have that edge.
They already
understanding how the dynamics work. But for us, we don't. So we have to learn. We have to learn. So we don't know the answer now. But it's gonna be challenging.
It's gonna be challenging. So that is the second segment. Let's go into the third segment. This is the fan corner. Obviously, as a Man U fan, I don't think I have much to talk about. But Liverpool, please, you guys dominated the transfer window so far. So tell us how, in a summary version, how your window is going, and if you've have played any preseason, like what have you seen in the preseason that gets you excited for the upcoming season?
Yeah. Liverpool, it's a mixed feeling, you know what's going on, like the summer and all that. It's a mixed feeling especially after winning the league, the high of winning the league, and then going into the summer and then losing one of your players. I think that is very difficult. The other aspect is how we're gonna react to that. How are we gonna react to losing Jota? It can be positive, it can be negative. We don't know. To be honest, we don't know. But so far it has been good. What we have seen, it has been good. And then the transfer window, started very well, because the transfer window actually started immediately after the season ended. We get, VARs pretty quickly. We get in Frimpong and Kerkes. All of them, they came in very quickly. They all came in before the passing of Jota. Everything was looking nice, rosy, and then we are going into the new season, and then all of a sudden that tragedy happened. But still, we continue to get new players. Yesterday, they signed Eketike. Another player, to be honest, I don't know him, but it's a lot of money there. But I'm quite excited for what I heard from people and what I'm seeing. It's an interesting season going into the season. In terms of preseason, we played a couple of games so far. The first one was very emotional. That was the Preston North End game. That was the first game Liverpool played since Jota passed. So against Preston, and it was really good. I watched the build up to the game and then watch parts of the game, watch the highlights later. I didn't watch the full game, but of course, first game of preseason, you will not expect to see the team that you will see in game week 1. Liverpool won that game 3-1. Darwin scoring one, Gakpo getting another, and Bradley opening the scoring in that one. The new players, some of them played. That was Frimpong played in that one. The new goalkeeper, Mohamed Asfili, he also played. We have a lot of new players. Like this is how can I say? This is an unknown territory for us. We are not used to this. Liverpool, we're not used to
having a lot of players
having this kind of signings. Like we don't even know how to. To be honest, that's how it feels. Like Liverpool signing. we're not used to it. To be honest, we don't. But it's been exciting though, in a way,
Yeah.
like seeing players coming up right center, whoever you want, you just go for it without, like it's been good. And then the second friendly was against Stoke. That was a behind closed door friendly. All the teams are playing behind closed door friendly. I don't know what they're hiding.
Why?
This is
Why are they hiding? Yeah, what's the problem? Why
behind
are they
closed door,
hiding stuff?
everything. You guys played a behind closed door friendly against Leeds too, right?
No.
No, that was
No.
not behind closed door.
It wasn't behind the closed. But
Okay.
ours is a bit weird because we had 2 games postseason there in, I think, Asia or somewhere.
Yeah, you guys played. We have to start.
We even lost one of them. But yeah.
Yeah, and my boy.
Manchester is the problem, man. Anyway, you go ahead.
Yeah, and we won Stoke 5-0. My boy Darwin, he got a hat trick in that one, and then whetting the appetite again for everybody, Darwin. But of course, I think he will leave. There are some players who are gonna leave, definitely. Darwin is
you can't keep everybody.
Yeah, Darwin's gonna leave. And Diaz is not happy. He wanna leave. Because he wants more money. Of course, Liverpool, he's asking for them to give him either more money or let him go, something like that. And Liverpool,
it's important to your team, man. I think
it's important to the team.
You can't have too many players leave. That's the thing, because all these players are now.
So it's going to be a new team, exactly.
Yeah,
and this is why I'm saying, there's a lot of factors. Like this is a very, very important factor you raised. There are many factors that will kind of feel like how we're going to react, because Trent has left, definitely Jota, and then now if Diaz is leaving and Darwin is leaving, even if Konate is somebody they were mentioning his name in terms of move and stuff like that. So it's going to be a new team. But of course, there's a lot of quality being added. But how are they going to adapt? Are they going to come in and adapt? We don't know. But everybody's talking about him in FPL. I'm going to be careful. I like him, but I'm going to be careful and all that going with him, because all these players, when they come in, these attacking players, Ekatike, Bats, and all that, Salah is already there. If Salah is keeping his numbers, which is very unlikely, then those players, they're not gonna have crazy numbers. Or they're not gonna have numbers.
The main guy is still gonna be Salah, basically.
It's gonna be Salah, and then Liverpool are not gonna win every game 6-0 or 7-0. It's something. It's gonna be 1-0. And if Salah is gonna score that goal, then what are the other players doing? Maybe they are just helping. And this is another factor that we need to sometimes forget. Like if you bring 5 Haalands in your team, don't expect every Haaland to score like the same Haaland is scoring. Somebody is gonna chop off somebody's goals, and then maybe somebody will score very, very less goals. So these are factors that can play a part. And Liverpool have already good players. I don't know how they're gonna gel all these players, come them in. It's exciting, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, but
this
how
is
gonna work?
In my opinion, this is gonna be like
a Man City problem, kind of.
No, it's gonna be your coach's first season in a way, because last season he didn't get any players. He basically used Klopp's team, right?
Exactly.
And just optimize them. But this is his own, so this is like his own team, because they're going to be playing a different type of way too. It's interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see. But I think
it's exciting. Yeah, it's really exciting.
It's exciting, but I don't think you should have any issues, man. Honestly, like as a rival, I can only look at you guys and envy. That's it. It's just man. I wish my team was operating the way you guys are, but you guys deserve it. You guys haven't spent last season. You didn't sign basically any, but you signed only one person.
Yeah, that's right. When people are out there, people are out there.
Last few years, you haven't signed anybody.
Exactly. So, like sometimes we also deserve to be the team that is shining, right? Sometimes,
That's why I'm not. I mean, it's you don't want to see your drivers pull ahead of you, especially when you're at your lowest. But what can you do?
Yeah, let's talk about United though.
First things first though. RIP to Jota. I mean, it was like I think it was a shock to the football world. Very, very sudden. Like nobody saw it coming. Just got married like a week or so before, and then passed away with his brother. So RIP to Jota and his brother, man. Like we'll never forget them. But Man U, man, that was like the worst season as a Man U fan for most Man U fans, especially those that are not that old. So, I mean, it's just the sooner we forget about it, the better. And us not finishing in Champions League football places got beat by Tottenham. It's difficult, but then we thought it was going to be a way for us to kind of revamp, and like get a fresh start. But apparently we've been having issues with our signings. So we have Cunha. Cunha is in right now, but that was already done, and he wanted to actually come. in as a he supports Man U, but most of these players don't really want to come to Man U right now. But if you are a fan of Man U, what you want to do is you want to play for Man U, and that's like dream of yours, and which was a dream of his. So that was easy to do. You just paid the reduced clause, I think, in installments. I think we paid a bit more, so that was fine. So that was already something. So when we got Cunha, it was like, oh, this is going to be a very interesting window, because it's very rare that Man U goes into the window and does the signing so quickly. So we are thinking that this transfer window, you're going to upgrade, pam, 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 knock them there. Next thing you know, we're linked with Momo. Like, to be honest, I have always liked Momo, because FPL, if you play FPL, you know that he's a good player. But if you don't watch Brentford, you wouldn't really know the type of player he is. So I've always liked him. So when we were linked with him and he came out and said, oh, he wants to prioritize Man U, I was so excited. I was happy. But then that took like 3 weeks for us to do. So we just announced it when. I was like, was it on Monday or so that we announced it? I think. Or yeah, something like that. Like one of these days. So it was like, what's going on? For a team like Man U that finished 15, you would think they will be moving much faster, because so much needs to change. The team is not good enough, So, and even that you can actually see from the preseason that we had, even though it's kind of like a fresh start and stuff, but the same problems are still there. And now we have these, they call them the bomb squad, 5 players. And the club announced.
I see them. On Sky Sports.
They don't need any more. I kind of feel like there's a lot in this team. They're trying to support the manager to actually have a cultural shift, because they've never backed a manager like this before. So it's good to see that they want the right type of players and the right type of attitude around the team. If the manager doesn't want to work with you, there's no point in you being in and around those players. So basically, which I agree with. Give the manager everything that he wants, so that he won't have an excuse when he was supposed to go. Because there are some questions. I know it was a bad time to come into the team with a different formation and everything, but there are some questions that he needs answering. That he needs to answer for himself, because some doubts are beginning to creep up. So if he gets the amount of players that he gets this season, there's no way he can finish like outside of the top even 8. So he needs to like go up like a bunch of places this season. So yeah, for me, I'm excited to see our new players. It's always nice to have new players, especially these players that we have. The 2 of them, like, are one of the best scorers in the league. For last season or the last few seasons, Momo has been, consistently doing it. The output is there, which was one of our biggest issues that we have last season, is the scoring. It's like we lost so many points because we don't score goals. If you don't score goals, you don't win games. It's simple. And sometimes you play the whole game is good, but you don't have goals. Next thing, your opponent just nicks 1 goal, you scores, and then that's it. You lose the 3 points. Yeah. It's a points game, man. It's a points game. Right now, the issues we have is striker Rasmus Højlund. There's no way we're going to start the season with him. So he needs to go. It's either he goes on loan or we sell him. So we need to bring in a new striker. That's why
he's not in the bomb squad. He's not part of the bomb.
No. The bomb squad are the ones that the manager just doesn't want. From last season, you can tell. It's Rashford, who has gone to Barcelona on a loan, which is good for him. I hope that he does well there. He's gone.
I saw it today.
Garnacho is still waiting to get a club. He had a falling out with the manager at the end of the season after Tottenham. Anthony, who was out of order. I don't think he has any issues with the manager. It's just like the style of play is not the same. So he was in Betis and he had a good season with them, basically. Yeah. And then you have Sancho. Sancho is, in my opinion, he's the worst of the bunch, because he's so many issues with him. He's also looking for a way out.
Malacia, no?
And Malacia, he's the last one. So 5 of them. Yeah. So I feel if the manager doesn't want them around, they should go, because it hasn't worked out. For Malacia, it's just unfortunate that he has like a serious injury and he was out for like a year, and it's gonna be a while before he gets back to that level again. Even if he does, it was a bad injury. So we already have 2 players, 2 attackers that's gonna add to our GA. We need a striker. We are linked to Watkins. We're linked to Sesko, but Sesko is expensive because Arsenal we're going in for him and Gyökeres, and because of the price, I think they went for the slightly cheaper option. and the more like I think established striker, in my opinion. I think they got the best striker because you were looking at Gyökeres, but it doesn't want to come because we don't have Champions League football. So I think now the coach said he wants. I'm hearing rumors that they said he wants Watkins. So imagine having Watkins, Cunha, and Momo in our team. I mean, that's a good attacking front three, in my opinion. We need a midfielder, but I don't think it's a priority because we have too many we have a lot of midfielders, even though it's never really the right balance that we have. There's some energy missing in the midfield. So if an opportunity comes, this is the rumor I'm hearing that we might sign one if the right opportunity comes, meaning if the price is right. And then the last and not least is the goalkeeping situation. Onana is just a mistake waiting to happen. So I think that is that and a striker is the priority, and then a midfield is possible if the opportunity comes along. So yeah. That's Man U for you in a nutshell. So many things going.
How do you expect the team to play next season with the new additions that you have? For me, this is a problem. I cannot answer for Liverpool, to be honest. With all my like for tactics and all that, I cannot really answer how we're gonna line up next season. It's gonna be a mystery for me. So, how about United?
We're gonna the coach is our coach is very stubborn. That 3-5, whatever you call it, is it 3-4-3 basically? So it's 3-4-2-1. That's how he's gonna play. There's going to be variations of it, but it's still going to be 3 defenders and then 2 wing backs. So the players he bought, Cunha is a 10 that can play also like a left or right 10, but he prefers a left 10. He can also play behind the striker, right? It's like a CAM. I'm not sure if he can play wing. Mboma is a winger, but he can also play 10. He can play full back as well. He can play striker. So he is like a multi-purpose type.
Full back? What do you mean? Wing back?
He can play wing back, yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen.
Yeah, Momo is he's played that before for Brentford. He's really good. Yeah,
that's why I know he's very good defensively. Like when it comes to pressing and all that.
Yeah, he can play. He can play that. That's why we're excited.
What do you want him? You want him closer to the goal than further away.
No. I mean, what I'm saying is that, like, we bought him just in case if we need to change formation. Like we are good, because the problem most of us have as fans is whatever happens if this coach doesn't cut it and he needs to go. We don't want to be stuck in the same situation where we have different players for a different coach, and then we bring in a new coach, and then the players don't fit.
Yeah. To be honest, they will fit in different system. Both of them.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So, and we've bought all these young players, and now they realize that you know what, you need Premier League proven, because last season what happened to us, all those front line, you can't consider them as Premier League proven. Most of them are just coming into the team actually, and you can't rely on them. So. Yeah. I think that's what they're going with right now. They want like the good blend of it, because you cannot operate in the Premier League without targeting Champions League football. It's a major chunk of your budget that's gone, and players don't want to come and play for you anyway, so it's going to be difficult. We need to be in there. So I think they will do well. I think they will do much better than last season. Sorry, we'll score more goals. The issue I have is Bruno as a midfield. That doesn't work for me. Is a misprofile. He doesn't suit that system. And the sooner the coach realizes that Bruno is on a CM, the sooner he start getting results, because that's not going to work. And I think he already knows it, but he just needs to be.
Yeah, actually, I was surprised. We have been talking about the defensive actions in the game, the FPL game, the new defensive action. Bruno is actually up there when it comes to midfielders for those defensive actions. I don't know how, because I know he's a very good player, but I know discipline, when it comes to playing the position defensively, discipline is the problem. But I was not expecting him to be one of the players who is more active when it comes to defensive action as a midfielder. And he really is.
Yeah. The thing about him, he has energy, but in the middle of the pitch, like he doesn't get tired, so obviously he's all over the place. That also contributes towards him not suitable for the central midfielder, because
he's not disciplined around the area.
Once he leaves that position, there's only one player in that place that has to cover both positions. That's where the problem is. Because the wing backs go high enough, and then you have what?
Actually,
you have three defenders, and one of them. So it's like it causes a mess. And,
actually, this point is something that Steven Gerrard used to struggle with as a player until Benitez came to Liverpool. he was very good. He has energy more than any player. He
When
can
he
run
used to go
anywhere.
in,
He can go
that's the problem.
anywhere. But tactical discipline to be in your position, when to go and when not to go. You have the energy to go, you can go, but you don't need to go. Then you don't have to go, and that is the problem that Gerrard used to have. So he was all over the place until Benitez came, and then that's why he was playing him as a winger, as a midfield 10, just to take him out of his midfield, like his double midfield. Alonso and what's his name, Didi Hamann used to play in the midfield. Oh, when Sissoko came, then you have Alonso and Sissoko playing, and then Gerrard played in front of them. It was because of his tactical discipline. Until he grew up, then he can play. He understands the game much better. When he started playing as a defensive midfielder, staying there, not me. But at that time, the energy has gone down, and he becomes smarter, and then he did not run. Bruno is kind of in that mode.
With Bruno, I think it's because when he came into the Man U team, he was such a good player that there were too many fires to put out, and he felt like he had the energy to do everything. And in the end, you do so many things that you don't really do your own position properly. You don't do it well.
Exactly.
So he's used to that now. You see the game against you guys. He was one of our best players.
Yeah.
No, he played. He played in the midfield against you guys. Last season.
Yeah.
That was one of his best games because
the 2-2 draw. Yeah,
he played. He played CDM.
Yeah,
he had a very good. He was very disciplined. I think maybe the player that the coach gave him a talking to, but it's either he does well, meaning that he's positionally disciplined, as a CM and stays there and dictates the play because he has the passing. He can pass. That's not a problem. And maybe the coach will remind him in almost every game to just stay in your position, and then he does.
Yeah, well, but he's grown up there. I think he's a grown up now. Maybe he will be easier to adopt now.
I hope so. That's the hope that we have. But even in preseason, we are seeing he's still doing something, even though it's not as he used to do it before. But it's still the same thing that he's doing, So we're praying that he doesn't, that he's disciplined and he stays, and then the whole team actually behaves like a unit instead of us depending on just one or two players to get us out of trouble all the time. That's why we've been behaving all this while. We're trying to play as a team, though.
I can remember the game you played against Arsenal. And then he was the only one pressing. And then the Arsenal keep playing triangles on him. Touch. And then the ball goes there. And then he turned and then
he gets angry,
and then he gets angry. But the fact is, you should not be there because you don't have that backing. Then in that situation, you
go
have
back,
to
fall back,
and then fall back, and then let them do what they want to do. Yeah, that kind of, even at Liverpool, I can remember the 7-0 we beat you guys. That game too, I can remember flashes of this happening with him. And then he was there following Bicetic on the wing. And then on the
he's emotional. He wears his hand on his sleeve.
Emotions get the better of him. He does. Yeah, exactly.
He's growing older now, so he should be more because most players do well in midfield, right? When they grow older, because it's all about you actually anticipating the move and reading the play. But
exactly. That's why I say Gerrard, when he moved into defensive midfield, I did not envisage him being successful as a defensive midfielder, 100%. But to be honest, one of his best seasons was when he played in Navy. Of course, it ended where poorly. That goal that Chelsea scored, that deprived Liverpool from the sleep. But that season, the whole season, he played as a stick, and he was doing exceptionally well on that in that 6. Yeah. That's great.
So that's the end of the FAD corner. We go to the last segment, which is the drafts. So this is the part where we show our drafts and see what we have been working on. So I think, Chama, you can go first and show your draft first.
I can go first because for me, I don't have much to say about my draft. Let me just go there. The first thing is I have to establish how I want to play the first game week, and it's about the bench boost, getting rid of that bench boost. The more I think about it, the more I think I'm gonna bench boost in that game week. Even whilst I was talking to you, I was thinking I said the African Cup of Nations or the African AFCON premium, what they add in that point, the transfer they bring for the AFCON. Even that, another thought has just come to me and say, usually, even if you want to wait your wildcard until that time, you are sticking yourself to wildcard on that particular time. And then I said something earlier, I want to be flexible on my wildcard. Whenever I need it, in my team needs a wildcard, I don't mind using it. But if you say I'm going to use it on the AFCON, then
you're limiting yourself now.
You are limiting yourself to that AFCON. Then I might, I might miss a good opportunity to use the. So I think that is not an option for me. It's an option for somebody who want to use it, but for me, I don't think that is an option. So my team was looking into like wildcarding in the first game week. bench boosted in the first game week. That's why I came up with this team. Try to get the best 15 players with confidence as well. But of course, I have some some interesting picks there. In goal, I went with for Babrogun and Kelleher. I believe both of them are number one for their clubs. Kelleher, of course, Brentford have lost their first choice keeper, so obviously he will go in as their first choice keeper straight in. Aina, last season he had a wonderful season. They play Brentford. Brentford have not great this season, I feel. Aina plays at home, so I just went with Aina there. Van Dijk, because of the added points with the defenders, central defenders, I even Van der Ven. That's why I'm kind of confident on him. They have a good fixture to start with. If he's fit, of course, he will start in the internal defense. In other two defenders I have is Juve and Bradley. Juve is a very exciting one. I will tell you that one. He's one of the players that you should be excited about. West Ham signed him from Slavia Praha. Slavia Praha is in Czech Republic. That's where Souček and what's his name? Souček came from, and the other fullback they had. The other fullback that West Ham had. What was it? We used to play him. Kufal. Wow, yeah, they came from Slavia Praha. So that's where Juve is coming from. He's a left back, Senegalese left back. Last season he scored, I think, 7 goals for Slavia and provided 3 assists. He's very adventurous, takes crosses, very good when it comes to crossing. He's now playing for the Senegal national team. He even played in the game against England. He got 1 assist in that game.
They beat England.
They beat England 3-1. He got one of the assists in that game. I know because there's a few Gambians there. There's a Gambian playing at Slavia Praha, so I follow their progression and all that. So he's an exciting one. I can say that. So him and Bradley, I'm not sure Bradley is going to start this season, but if I have the indication he's going to be the first choice for the first game, I will pick him. But I don't know because we have Frimpong and Bradley, so there is that competition. And this first game week, I want to get guarantees, not players that I will be leaving. But for now, he's there. And then in midfield, I have Kudus, obviously because of his price is very good. Last season they have the great season, but I rate this player so highly, and now he's going to a better team, and the fixture is really good for game week 1. You have Salah, Minte, and Jorginho Ruta. They have a good fixture. Fulham is not easy, but I think Brighton at home against Fulham, and usually Brighton, they have a good start to the season. I think both of them, 6 million, they are a very good. With João Pedro now not in the team, I would expect Ruta to start. They bought him with a lot of money. He's their most expensive player. Last season, the problem was the injury that he got at the middle stage of the season, but he could be a starter. So 6 million to start with, and he's now a midfielder. I think last season he was a striker. No, maybe, but he sometimes plays as a striker. So I kind of out of position player. That's why I get him. And then you have Parma, Chelsea, Crystal Palace at home. I think it's a good start for them. Palace is not the easiest fixture, but again, it's Parma. And I'm going for that day, but I'm worried about the Club World Cup. How it's gonna
that's exactly what I was gonna bring up to. That's exactly what I was gonna bring.
And then up top, I went with João Pedro, Solanke, and Wisa as my 3 strikers. No Haaland. But this is a balanced team, so this is a team that you have to break at some point in the season because of I put a lot of money in my bench right now. You can see what Bradley is 5, Wisa is 7. And then you have Kelleher is 4. There is no 4.0 goalkeeper there, and then the other. I don't have any 4.0 player in my team. Everybody is 4.5 or more. So I will break it as soon as the end of this game week. If I need to. If I can put in a good game week 2 team, then I will. But yeah, this is just for the first thought, thinking I'm gonna bench boost and then take it from there. Yeah, what do you think of the team?
It's a good team. I think it's a very, very balanced team. I mean, obviously, it's the first draft, so I'm sure it's going to change as things
as we know more, as we gather more information,
as things progress between now and the first game of the season. Obviously, it's going to change. But yeah, the issue I was talking about Chelsea players. I also have the same 2 players in my team. My worry is that obviously they won the Club World Cup, right? And then that means they're on holidays now, or about to actually join the team because they're going to start later than everybody else, basically.
Yeah.
Because their season just ended a few weeks, like last week or so when they won the Club World Cup. So what's going to happen is maybe they're not going to be up to speed. It depends because Chelsea they have a big squad. But this squad, they might not be as tired, because they didn't play in the like Conference Cup. They use the second team in the Conference Cup, only the final. So I was talking to a Chelsea fan, and he was saying, "Oh, they have a big squad." So I don't think he doesn't think that they will be as exhausted or take some time to actually recover. But I think they will. So in the first few game weeks of the season, I don't know how confident I am of these Chelsea starting 11. Joining the team actually. Starting as if
maybe Pedro's case it will be different because he joined the semi-finals of the cup, so he had a preseason, he had a break, like when the Club World Cup was going on. He was in Brazil, he was enjoying his time. He came in around the ending of the competition when most clubs were returning to preseason at that time. So him having that, I think he is in a good position, good place. But for Palmer with the extended season, I think it's worried.
Yeah. So even if Palmer is having an issue with Chelsea, I mean, then he might affect the rest of the team because he's one of the most important players anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah. So I have a lot of drafts. Is this mine? Let me just put it in here. So this is draft 1. It's a bit small, but if you can see, I took it from my phone. So this is the first draft, like Pope, Gabriel, Frimpong, James, and then Palmer, Wirtz, Kudus, Adingra, Sunderland. He's moved from Brighton to Sunderland now. And then João Pedro, Isak, and then Mateta. And then bench, I have Konsa, Elanga, the Kuiper. This guy, you should probably keep an eye on him because Estupinian has now gone. I think he's went to AC Milan. So this is going to be this guy. They're pretty like stoked about.
Yeah, I heard about him. He's
really good. Yeah, I've had good reviews about him. And then
he has good numbers though. But before you move, I think they have that guy they signed last season too, Kadioglu, the Turkish guy. So he's also
Kadioglu, that's
left back. Yeah. So there's that competition there. But if he's what he is, I think he's an exciting player because he creates a lot of chances. He's a very good attacking player.
Yeah, but this is a balanced team anyway. So, but then there's some issues. I thought about Isak. He's having the issue because he wants to go to you guys, and now his head is spiraling turned. So, yeah. And then I made a second draft. So I actually made the first draft, went into social media, started seeing some other drafts and getting some more ideas, and then I kind of changed the team. And then I had Pope in goal. This is the second draft. Gabriel still, Frimpong, Dogu. I'm expecting he's going to have a really good season because he's new. Last season, he just came in. He came in January and he was really struggling, But as much as he struggled last season, he was still one of our better players. That's the funny thing about it, So I think it's going to go, leaps and because it's going to improve leaps and bounds this season. Because already in the second half of our first preseason game, he was attacking. I just saw that this guy is going to be important for us. I hope he stays fit. Because he's going to be an exciting one to watch. Palmer in midfield, Wirtz, Kudus, Saka. So you can see Saka is now in my team, and then you have Pedro, Isak, and then Buddy.
Nobody. I know about him. Yeah, good player.
He's a good player. I heard good things about him. That's why I brought him in. And then Trafford still, and then Konsa, Ramazani. This guy, man, he played against us. Apparently, he was in our youth team. It's like, man, this guy is good. He already almost scored against us. So I was
with Leeds.
Leeds, yeah. Ramazani.
What's his name?
He's a left Ramazani.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he's a left winger. He's very industrious, man. And then the Kuiper. That's the second draft. Third draft, Sanchez in goal, Variol, Frimpong, Dogu, Palmer, Wirtz, Njai, Saka, I think almost similar, and then João Pedro, Isak, Welbeck. Now Welbeck is back in. Apparently since Pedro is not in, there's no competition for him. He's going to be the main striker if he's fit. So I think he might be winning on penalties now. Udogi is in because I think I need to have a
Udogi too is another player to consider.
Udogi,
it's cheap, 4.5
and 4.5. It's cheaper than Poro. So then the last one. This is what I'm on right now. I have Sanchez, I have Guardiola. No changes, just small tweaks. Badio, Frimpong, Udogi. So Frimpong is the one that I think is going to start. When I saw that he's way attacking, he's really attacking.
Mhm.
So you need to tell me if he's going to start or not. So because he's not cheap.
Yeah, I will go. I will go to watch them. I will go to watch them
Mm.
on Wednesday. They're playing here,
Nice.
so
That's good.
hopefully I will see something.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if they had the open training session. Then I would have gone to the open.
Oh, you want to
training
go see? That's nice.
and see the details, but I
Yeah.
don't think Liverpool want to do open training session because of they are hiding things. Just like I say,
Why are they
closed
hiding? What are they hiding
behind
from,
closed door.
man?
I don't know, behind closed door friendlies and all that. But I think last year when they came, they did an open door training where you can watch their training sessions and stuff. But Liverpool, it seems they are keeping their cards under their chest, so So
Growl, like anyway, anyway, yeah, I have still João Pedro, and then Watkins is now in as a striker, and then Welbeck. So the three now I think is pretty set. I'm pretty confident with this front three. So the rest is going to be the issue now. Like Palmer, I'm not too convinced, even though I want him. I might want to bring in Salah, since you talked about having Verts as a new player coming in. I'm excited to have him because he's a new player. Me and new players. But I think I might want to get Salah in and then probably
but we on the safe
downgrade
side.
Palmer to somebody else. Yeah, just to be safe.
Last year I did not start with him and then it didn't go
The
well.
same thing I didn't start. I don't think I started with Salah, but I was excited to get somebody else, and then he had his best season yet. So like, well, I don't understand this guy. But yeah, that's it for now. So I think this is like a long good pod. I think it covers a lot. So yeah, I think from now on to the end of the season, we're just probably updating our drafts. No, not the end of the season. The start of the season. Sorry. If we need to have another episode, we will just to update and keep abreast.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah.
But yep. Anything else we forgot to cover? We covered everything.
No, I think we covered. I think it was good.
Perfect.
It's good to be back. I think we were gonna be rusty, but it went along very nicely.
That's good. Yeah. So thank you guys. The Kotu Classic FPL podcast. Please check out Jollof Football Bantaba, the home of Gambian football, on YouTube as well. It's a new season, man. We can't wait to have you guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, man. Peace.